Okay, down to business here, folks. We really try, we're getting better at it, of keeping our videos current and up to date. It goes in waves, things happen, but we're really working on it.
This year it was the wedding.
This year it was a wedding interrupted things. But unfortunately, we also just lost a lot of our pork processing footage. We had a lot of corrupted files. So some weeks have passed because they were lost in footage. But today, we're going to wrap up, recap, kind of finish all of the pork processing on the Homestead. We're going to look at some of the product we've got put away, some of the salted cured meats that are ready to come out of refrigeration. I've got to get some weights on them. I got to talk a little bit about the final processes of those things, other than you know, they just wait and age. So some of the things that got missed I'm going to touch on today, and we're going to end our adventure in Homestead pork processing. Sadly, some of the footage we lost was one of my most enjoyable parts of the pork processing, and that was curing our bacon. Bacon is the cash crop. It's the gold of some of the pork processing. We have awesome pasture-raised, non-GMO Berkshire bacon that we grew right here on the land. And for all of our curing, we did the equilibrium method, which is like a dry cure, goes based off of weight. I took the Hand-Hewn Farm pork processing workshop, and that's the methods they used. I even used some of their exact recipes for cures on things, but basically it's a percentage based cure. You go off weight to how much salt and other seasonings that you'll use in your cure. Then the meat is covered with that amount of cure, vac sealed, and then it cures in refrigeration until you take it out and then smoke it or hang it or whatever else you're gonna do. So with bacon, what you missed is I had slabs of bacon all over this counter with their weight and how much salt and how much sugar and how much pepper and everything that I did on my cures, and I did them all up. I have a photo of that, so I'll try to have Liz insert that photo here. After they were in their cure for a week in the refrigerator, I then brought them out and smoked them, which I also lost footage of the smoking. We'll go check out the smokers I used. I used two different methods of smoking. Sorry, Liz, I'm putting my shoes on. You're just gonna have to edit here in a minute. I used two different methods of smoking our bacon, and you don't even have to smoke your bacon, but I think if you're looking for that classic bacon taste, you want a little smoke on there. And you can do the smoke to whatever degree you want. But the methods I used, I did a hot smoke and a cold smoke. Actually, I kind of did three methods: a hot smoke, a medium smoke, and a cold smoke. I have the Masterbuilt Gravity Series grill. I did hot smoke a couple slabs on here. Basically, it's a charcoal hopper that I put hardwood in, and I did a hickory smoke on some of that. It was delicious. I did two basic cure recipes, both very similar. Basically salt, sugar, black pepper, garlic. One of them I did salt, pepper, brown sugar, and onion powder. It was actually an accident, but a happy accident. And then I both hot smoked on hickory and cold smoked on applewood. We don't have a large smoker, so I borrowed a Bradley smoker and I filmed this process, but we were able to basically cold smoke in the Bradley. It has a smoke generator that you can have no heat, and we had our slabs in here, and it feeds these little applewood pucks. Hey, there's a puck. This is an applewood puck. It warms it up, generates a lot of smoke. So you can smoke this pretty much cold smoke if you keep an eye on making sure that those pucks aren't generating too much heat. You can also add a heat element. So I kind of like medium heat smoked. It's a pretty fast process. So I did that with applewood. Already we notice a difference in both. So after the smoking process, I then took the slabs and sliced them on a deli slicer. Hi, Charlie.
Gotta get the frog real quick. Gotta show him the frog.
Now, I'm in the middle of a pork video. Tree frog. He moved a little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
Hi.
Some sunshine.
Found a nice spot. So, after the smoking process, I then sliced the slabs of bacon or a pork belly on a deli slicer to the thickness I liked, and then I vac sealed those into packages. So that brings us to the pork freezer. Pork freezer. So in here I have several packages of bacon. I marked on them whether they were an applewood smoked with the onion cure or hickory with the garlic cure, and I just laid them out nice in strips, vac sealed them, and stuck them in the pork freezer. So that was bacon, and it was awesome and it's delicious, and we just pull a pack out the night before we need bacon in the fridge, and it's good to go. So while we're in the pork freezer, we'll just go through it. Ground pork. After I did my grind, all my trim and the shoulders that I used, I just vac sealed 1 pound packages of plain ground pork. Now we pull those out and season them as we need. We pull them out the night before, season them, let them thaw out. Season them like a sage breakfast sausage, or we can season them to medium or hot Italian sausage. We could do chorizo. We're not married to anything specific on this ground pork. We can season it however we want as we go. That way we don't get sick of one type of sausage. I think roughly we ended up with close to 40 pounds of sliced bacon from the 2 Berkshires and over 50 pounds of ground pork. Other cuts I have in here, I have our hocks. So I have frozen ham hocks, a trotter. Some of those I'll use for soups as we go through the season. I have all my boneless chops. There's some tomatoes that need canned. I have boneless pork chops. I have bone-in pork chops. I packaged ours all pretty much in 2 chop packages, even though these are just like, we could probably do a meal on one of these chops. These are some nice chops, but they're very, I tried to pair, because there's 2 of us, similar chops together, 2 boneless chops, 2 bone-in chops, just with the thought of how I'm going to pull them out for certain meals. I chose to do, well, I've got some spare ribs done up. We ate some of these up fresh, they were awesome. But I have some spare ribs, country ribs, and some Boston butts. All done up. These will be like slow cooker or street tacos. So this is all the pork freezer. Kind of did my chops, sausage and bacon, random cuts, and then there's like kind of bacon stuffed in throughout. My hocks, trotters, things for soups. It's awesome. Pork freezer. Okay, oh, a little bit more. Well, chicken heads in the door. But when I did my offal that day and I cooked Geta and I cooked blood sausage, it was an abundance of that too. So I packaged some of these up into, that we can pull out and slice for breakfast. I have blood sausage. So that is all of our frozen fresh pork. The other pork that's still in existence is our cured pork. So while we are on the topic of my dry cured, my long cured, salt cured porks, I'm to the point where I have to do some weighing and checking to see if some of these are ready. So we'll go over to the cool bot where I have some of the pork hanging and check this stuff out. When you're salt curing, it's all off weight, like I said. You're looking for, on pork at least, a target weight loss of around 35%. It's gonna vary from the amount of fat per cut, because not as much moisture, water is gonna be lost from something that's fattier. But in general, I'd say we look for 35% weight loss as a target loss. So these cuts I have in the CoolBot, we're gonna go check and see if they've lost that target amount, track their weight, and some will be pulled and put in the fridge and ready to slice and enjoy. All right, so I think I'll just set up a little station to weigh some of this pork down here so I'm not taking things to and from the house if they're not ready to be pulled from the CoolBot. Let's kick some light on here. All right, so this is some of the stuff I still have hanging in here. I've already pulled a tenderloin that I cured. It actually, tenderloin is small, lean cut, so it lost its target weight in probably 4 or 5 weeks, and I actually let it go a little longer than that. But now I've still got a lonza, so a pork loin. This is how my tags read. It's wrapped in a dry aging wrap. I have a guanciale, so a jowl, and a copa, and then of course my prosciuttos hanging. So I'm gonna take this and see if we have reached our target weight or if we have to keep going, letting it hang. Okay, so on this one, my starting weight was 118 grams. My target weight I have as 726 grams, and we had this hanging since July 18th. Today is October 1st. So let's see. 864. We are not there. Let's try again. 0. 863 grams. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Charlie, leave it.
So that already tells me that we're probably not there on some of these other ones, but this is great. So what I can do on my tag now is put the date I checked it, so we can check how much we're getting there. So we started at 1118, and now we're at 864. 10, 1, 23, and we are now at 864 grams. That's actually good news to me. The little tenderloin, it went so fast that it went longer. Now I'm gonna do a little bit more research. This is starting to feel really hard and cured, and this is a cut that has a lot of fat. There was a thick fat layer on here, so this target weight loss could be 30% or 25% on this one. It could be ready to go. But right now, it's totally fine to hang it back up. Okay, copa, or also known as capicola, gabagool, 2,279 grams. The target I have was 1481. This is a leaner cut, but also a bigger cut. So 1642, again, getting there. 1642. So let it keep going. When my target weight's reached, which I'll show you the tenderloin, I just cut it in half. I took a slice off and ate it, and it was delicious. But once you've lost that target moisture, then you're just gonna vacuum seal it and put it in the refrigerator, because you don't have to keep it in the refrigerator, but it's going to last a lot longer in the refrigerator. But at that point, you're vac sealing it because you don't want it to lose any more moisture. It'll just be hard, and so you're shooting for that target. This is great. It smells great. So on my prosciuttos, we're not even going to get a target weight right now. These things are going to go at least 18 months. I'm able to take them out of here, but we still have some hot weather, so I'm kind of like just letting them go. And once I get to the 6-month point I'm going to cover these with a sunya, which is a lard and rice flour cover. I'll just cover the meat side here, and that will help the moisture wick out slower over time. But we won't eat these until we get to the 2-year point, so this is a long game. But they can totally come out of this cooler at this point. They're cured, and we can hang them in the house or garage or cellar, whatever we want to do. But the fat, the sunya on here, basically acts as the skin, which allows moisture to escape and lets it age slower. The last one I have to do is the guanciale. I don't foresee, I think it's probably cured. This is very less, it's basically a slab of bacon, it's jowl bacon, but because of so much fat, it's not gonna hit the target weight loss, 30%. I have a 30% loss on this one, so it might be there. I must have done 30.
Busted open up there. Is it supposed to
No,
be?
it was open.
Oh.
That's just where it was hanging. Alright, so. No, it's 828. Not much loss. I think that's because of the fat.
Really likes that one.
The big jowl bacon.
That one smells good, Chuck.
Oh, yeah. I like to eat that one. I have to eat this one. So, this we can make some amazing pasta carbonara when this is ready. This is like some old world Italian stuff. You can't buy this where we live. So as you see in here, there's 3 legs. And our pig, 2 pigs had, wait a minute, 8 legs. Where are all the other legs at? 4, there's 4 rear legs. The rear legs of the pigs are the hams. That's what we turn into hams. But in here are 3. 3 of them are prosciuttos, and the last one we turned into a country ham. So we'll go show you that. This is our country ham hanging up here, and it was packed in a sugar, salt, red pepper, spice type cure, wrapped in butcher paper, or we used a paper grocery sack, and it cured hanging like that, wrapped in paper in the cooler until we pulled it out. I put it in a fresh ham sock and smoked it, and now it's in its final resting phase. It also has a tag on it with targets, but similar to the other hams, it'll take a lot longer. Crazy. Salt hanging in the garage, or pork hanging in the garage. And the only other thing to show you is the little tenderloin I already pulled out. That was cured, and I've already eaten some of it. So it's raw pork. It's salted, cured, raw pork. And now it's in our refrigerator in our charcuterie store. So I just sliced that in half. It's nice red. Had some thin slices off of it and vac sealed it. And it still lives with its tag. Target weight was reached on September 21st. And this will be good for over a year if it lasted that long in our fridge. But the plan is to have some friends enjoy charcuterie with us. Slice it, eat it, enjoy it with cheese, wine. It's amazing. So that, I would say, is a success to our first round in pasture-raised, homestead processed pork. And can't wait to do it again and learn new things and try different things. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It means a lot, guys, when we see the subscribes and the new likes. It's just big to us, and it motivates us to share more of this journey with you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.